I'm going to make a quick prediction. It's like, I'm gonna predict two things. First, I don't think this series is going to get nearly as much attention as Digimon for obvious reasons.
Probably not.
Second, I feel like I'm gonna have way more fun with this series than a lot of the Digimon we've covered.
Medabots does not take itself very seriously.
This show, holy crap, Alright, so I should mention, I don't think I saw much of it as a kid. I remember seeing, like, an episode or two, like, out of context, or, like, a bit of one, you know? I remember,
Yeah.
like, stuff out the metaverse and, like, metaverse.
Metaverse,
Oh,
no.
God. I remember stuff out the metaforce and, like, freaking Medabeat shooting Dragon Ball Z beams out or whatever. There being, like, a weird, like, like, Dragon Ball Z element to it. I remember, like, the Rubber Robo Gang, and I know there's some episode where they're fighting some, like, big, cool-looking Medabot with, like, a weird, like, it's like a spike coming out of his head and one coming out of, like, his torso, and he looked really cool. And he was, like, an actual problem. Like, it was actually something he struggled with. And outside of that, it's like, I feel like my main, like, just reference point for his franchise is just, like, those little, like, plastic toys you could get, where it's like, it's like very limited movement. It's just like, a head, a torso, the legs, and, like, the arms, and you would, like, take them apart and rearrange them. And I'd get those, and I'd always be like, well, I don't want to ruin the design. I'll just not take the parts off.
So that is a weird thing with Medabots that I kind of realized. It is like it's a world where you fight other people, basically. So yeah, we'll just like go ahead and establish the rules of basically like a meta battle, whatever
Yeah.
row battle. That's what they call it in English, I think.
I will show Peppercat so we have context for what a Medabot is.
Yeah. Oh wait, they called it a row battle in the original too.
Yeah.
Because it's a robot battle. But yeah, the idea is you fight other Medabots, and when you win, you get to take a piece of them. But every time you see a Medabot, it's not a mishmash of other parts. It looks like all the parts that are on it were meant to be there.
Yeah, it's so weird. Cause it's like, alright, so just jump ahead, but just talk about episode 1. They get into a whole, like, thing where it's like, okay, first robot we see, it's like freaking Peppercat versus Dr. Study, who is this. I want to bring him up because he is just a delightful little freaking, like, weak abomination.
Very fast, apparently, but not very strong.
Apparently pretty fast. He looks about as effective as he is. I'm just now realizing his shoulders are books, and I love it.
Yeah.
And his hands are pins.
Yeah, I love the goofy Medabot designs, and then then there's also like pretty cool ones like Metabee or Peppercat or Rakusho.
Yeah,
who we don't meet in these 3 episodes, but we will.
I made it my mission to get a screenshot of every single Medabot we see so far. And, like, so far, they're all pretty much winners, I feel like. I don't think I've been let down yet. I don't think there's been one I've looked at, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's, like, just bad or whatever. Like, I feel like they've all been, like, endearing in some way.
I like Cyan Dog, which is the black-haired dude in the Screws gang. It's his Medabot.
Freaking Spikes. I'd get spoiled on, like, one thing with that. Because
is it that it upgrades essentially?
Yeah, it's the like upgrades or something that hang like a mishmash metal or something. Because I wanted to look up what this kid's name was. And I just looked down and it's like, yeah. I just looked at it's like, oh, I guess, this robot just gets upgraded and they go through a whole arc, which, you know what? Heck yeah, I'm here for it. That sounds cool.
Yeah, so I guess we can get into that a little earlier than normal. Metals have like compatibility depending on the body type of the robot it's in. And yeah, Cyan Dog's metal isn't it doesn't match his robot.
Yeah, I think it was like a freaking monkey type metal or something from the wiki, and it's like a dog type body. So it's
Yeah.
like that's why his thing is like it's not good.
He's not very strong because he's
Yeah.
incompatible.
There was like a lot more strategy in this than I was expecting. Like they really ground these robots, which is great.
Yeah, they create like a whole rule system and
Yeah,
like
there's like
it's
compatibility and like strategy and stuff, and different parts with different effects. There's like
yeah.
going back earlier, like there's the whole fight with Pepper Cat where it's like she takes a hit and then she starts fighting Bar because like is the main guy says her like bounce was super off because her like robot master or partner or whatever was like just trying to mod and tinker with the design. Like they're trying to like modify the thing and it, like screwed her up.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, Pepper Cat's like lightly armored, and so it takes a hit from the what is supposed to be pretty weak Medabot that the student council president is using, and just destroys one of its arms immediately.
Yeah, and you see the whole thing where there's like a point system, which is like, all right, the point system's weird. I'm not gonna sugarcoat, but you know what is useful.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you
Also,
received 35 points of damage, so your arm stops working. And it's like, yeah, all right, sure, why not?
yeah. Also, I like. I mean, said this. I've already said this, but I love the designs that they go with for like the Medabots. Like the fact that Pepper Cat's fingers are like electrical like plugins.
Yeah, and she has the whole like electrical plug on her tail, and like the tail is like a wire. It's like it's very
Yeah,
creative.
yeah, it's cool.
Man, I'm going real. I like Pepper Cat a lot. I really hope that this thing keeps showing up to like try to win fights. And it keeps being like the underdog.
Uh, I'm pretty sure like Kikuhime or Samantha, I think her English name is.
Yes.
I think she kind of hangs around throughout the series, so it might Pepper Cat might keep showing up.
Yeah, she seems like she's gonna be like a mainstay for a bit that gets replaced by like the rivals as they start properly appearing. Like, I have to imagine, like, all these side characters are gonna, like, fade into the background hard. But, hey, sometimes Krillin's still gonna pop in and, do something cool. Sometimes they'll get their moment.
It's been long enough that I don't necessarily remember how it goes with with characters just not showing up or whatever. But I don't know. We'll see.
I have so little. Alright, so something I should mention, something I want to do for this,
Mm.
is that I have started an official tally of
Oh, yeah.
everyone's win rates.
Okay.
So it's like, I'll update this as I keep watching episodes. So far, Metabee is 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Everyone else a bit more dicey. Some more dicey than others. But hey, if nothing else, Pepper Cat is 1 for 1, which puts her literally on par with the Yakuza Elephant guy and the, like, Demon Band trio. So that is not bad as of right now, but I imagine it's gonna get progressively worse as we go.
Yeah. So as much as we've talked, do we want to actually talk about how the episode
The
starts
plot,
and everything?
We
Yeah.
probably should.
Because I like something that it does with kind of the plot where
Yeah.
the opening shot is like a truck or a car like crashing and exploding, and
Yeah.
you see like this group of dudes steal a briefcase from a guy.
Yeah, it opens like a fairly serious feeling note despite how just absolutely goofy these criminals look. Cause I mean, holy crap.
And they finish their sentences with the word robo.
Yeah. This of
And then
this is like, I have to imagine this is like early season Pokemon. This is like way back when like Jesse and James are meant to be threatening.
maybe, yeah, this is the Rubber Robo Gang. We'll see more of them later.
I
Yeah,
already love them.
Yeah, they steal a medal from the dude whose car. It seems like they crashed his car, which is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
They steal his medal, and then there's another dude who shows up, who's kind of silly, but the serious tone is still kind of there.
Yeah.
There's like this masked dude is like Phantom Thief Retort. That was his name.
Phantom Thief Retort, which
I think his name in English is the Phantom Renegade.
Yeah, that seems more like a, you know.
Yeah.
That's definitely a localization change that kind of works.
Yeah, but he's like, haha, I got your I'm taking this medal, and then he like throws down a smoke bomb or something and flies away.
Just flies away on like a giant balloon with a big R on it for retort.
Yeah, and he throws like these Medabot metal shaped like throwing stars basically that also have R's on them.
It's like, I guess what happens is he sends up a dummy in a hot air balloon as he hides under the bridge to give the Rubber Robo Gang the slip. So they're like chase after the balloon. And it's like, the goofy thing is, this is like actually not a bad plan, because I'm like, oh no, he's getting away very slowly. And it's like, oh wait, it's a fake out.
Yeah.
That's actually smart.
Yeah, it cuts to him hanging from a wire under the bridge, and he's like, "Ha, I got the medal and whatever." And then he clumsily fumbles it and drops it in the river, and then like his hook breaks or something. And it's like, okay, yeah, now we're getting more of what the tone of what the show actually is.
Tone established. So, I do want to mention something really interesting I learned about, because this is something someone mentioned on the comments of the upload I found, completely, legally, of course.
Of course.
Of course, as you do. Is that, like, apparently, two of the people behind, I believe, like, the animation directing, key animator and, what are you doing this? Yeah, key animator and animation director. Two of the people working on this went on to be part of Gynax, which became Trigger.
Ah, nice.
So it's like, yeah, apparently these guys also worked on Inferno Cop and, Fully Coolly and, like, Neon Genesis Evangelion to an extent, which honestly is a bit more surprising, but still fair. And, like, I'm seeing Kill la Kill storyboard artist in key animator. I'm seeing, like, effects artist on Space Patrol Luco, key animator on Promare, director for Brand New Animal. Yeah.
Go on Studio Trigger, Medabots reboot with your updated graphics style or animation style.
Yeah. Apparently it's like one of these guys was the mechanical designer for Gurren Lagann.
Sick.
So there's like that connection there. One of them was, the other was like a director on like freaking Panty and Stockton. Oh hey, the R1 directed Gurren Lagann. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, worked on like the Star Wars Vision skit because of course. Weirdly, like, did the animation for the ending of the Parappa the Rapper anime, which will haunt me to no end thanks to Peter. But yeah, good crap here, good crap. Like, suddenly the tone makes way too much sense. And we get to the opening, and I remember, like, reading that, like, one of these guys worked as, like, it's like the writer for the series was, like, also working as, like, one of the writers on Digimon Data Squad. And it's like you get the opening, and like the freaking insert song is all about like being a man and fighting with your red hot spirit. And it's like, oh yeah, that's Masaru.
There's also a little bit of that theming in like the first episode.
Yeah. It's like, as we'll get to in a minute, the second episode just pulls out a freaking banjo. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's the guy. Of course he'd do that.
So yeah,
man.
I was kind of worried that it's like, oh man, what if Medabots doesn't hold up as well as I remember? But it's like, okay, well, these first 3 episodes were fun, so I might have been worried over nothing.
Yeah, like, first 3 episodes, pretty fun. Animation surprisingly fun. Freaking, like, I'm digging it so far. Weirdly good pedigree, better than I was expecting. Like, it's probably gonna go some good places, I imagine.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the one thing which I probably didn't get nearly as many photos of as I should because I was too busy getting pictures of robots is that, like, the human designs are, like, all over the place and they're constantly off model. And, like, something out the color palette with, like, their weird, like, off model faces just kind of, like, it doesn't look great a lot of the time. But you know what? I give it a pass because it's like, they're having fun with it, It doesn't look super cool, but it looks really fun.
The intent behind the character designs, I think is good.
Yeah.
Like, when they're on model, I think the designs of the characters look pretty good.
Yeah, the actual raw designs are, like, on point. The human designs, a bit, like, hit or miss at points, but you know what? I can get behind it, Like,
it seems fittingly the focus for the animation and the design is on the robots.
Yes. Make the robots look really cool and have the humans be the goofy comedic element.
Yeah. Although even Medaby's kind of goofy looking at times. Like his eyes kind of shift around in like weird shapes at times.
He's very expressive. For not having a face, he is very expressive.
Yeah, his eyes have to be really expressive because he doesn't have a mouth.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Also, it might take a minute to get used to high-pitched Medaby.
Yeah. That's the thing, because I watched the sub, and I was like, okay, but, like, how they handle some of the stuff in the dub. So I went back and I, like, skimmed through the dub, and I would be tempted to do the dub if I didn't, like, hate it so much. Like, I kind of hate how Icky sounds, the main character, and, like, Mubby has this weird filter over his voice. It's like you can tell he is a good voice actor, but it's like the filter is, like, so weird and off-putting. It's like all the changes they made, like they're doing the goofy localization things, but the show's already so freaking goofy that it's kind of underwhelming in exchange.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of means that they can't like make it too much dumber though, because the series is already pretty
dumber
goofy.
than it's ever going to get.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't out-weird the scene where, like, Icky's mom hops into bed with him to wake him up. And it just starts like, yeah.
What are you doing? And she's like, the charm to make boys get out of bed or something. It's like, what?
Yeah, she's doing this cute little thing with her pinkies that the freaking dub cut out.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess because they thought it was, like, implying something? I don't know. It's such a weird scene.
This is like episode 2, I think, but there's like a very brief moment where we see Mr. Referee naked. I get
they
the
definitely
feeling,
cut that.
Yeah, like there's like a scene where a black screen pops up and it says Mr. Referee is getting changed. Please wait a moment. I guarantee it just cuts straight to that instead of showing Mr. Referee stripping in front of a bunch of grade schoolers.
Don't worry, it's a good reason. We'll get to it.
We have context. It's
We have context.
we'll get there.
And, yeah, the dumbness of like a little transition with like a CG Mel just flying across the screen. And he's just dressed now, and they just cut the gag. It's like, oh, that's not as fun.
Yeah, but you have to understand.
Oh yeah, that's
American
super
audience
understandable.
that would not have flown.
Oh, that would not float for a second. But yeah, episode 1. So it's like, yeah, we have the heist. And it's like, okay, yeah, Peppercat versus Dr. Strudy.
I think it's like Doc Study, like it's just like 2 words mashed together.
Yeah, Dr. Study or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, freaking Hinokime or whatever. Kikuhime, yeah.
Yeah,
Kikuhime just beats the student council president to like steal their council room. And it's like, oh, alright.
Yeah.
So you just charge them to a fight, you beat them, you steal a piece of their robot, and then you like steal their room.
Also, I'd like to point out that we learn later that there's a strict no Medabots at school policy that doesn't seem to matter in this episode.
Listen, this is jumping ahead. There's a scene in episode 2 where it's like they're getting ready to have like a Medabot battle, and there's just like kids just get excited, and the kids are just crowding the hallway. And I'm like, wait a second. This is a fight between Medabi, whose power is guns. And like a big scary robot, and you're just going to fight with kids surrounding both sides in a confined hallway as he's just blind shoot. It's like, I think these teachers are onto something. This seems a bit dangerous.
Yeah, so there's no denying that the Medabots are extremely dangerous. Like, Medabi is running around with machine guns on his hands and rocket launchers on his head, and like Peppercat can generate electricity and like tase people. And there's one with a flamethrower at one point. These things are dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
But it's clearly not meant to be, like, you're clearly not supposed to think about it. It's just that's how this world works. Nobody bats an eye. You probably shouldn't worry about it either. It's funny.
Yeah. It's the thing of like, hey, Ash, here, have an electric mouse that can shoot lightning. Good luck, 10-year-old child. Now go fight the bad guys. Who are like, literally like, unironically weaponizing poison gas.
Yeah.
Can we just acknowledge for a second that Team Rocket totally violates the Geneva Convention on a daily basis?
Well, you see, they're aiming the poison at the rat.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's okay then. Now they're just upsetting PETA.
Yeah, it's just pest control.
Oh, man. I could have sworn there's like scenes where they like shoot the gas half wheezing and just they try to smoke Ash at some point.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm just joking.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the entire premise of the show, live weaponry and everything included. Medabots are basically giant model kits, like grade schooler sized model kits that work. And it's like, this world is cool.
Is it weird that this totally makes me want to just like look up if there are Medabot model kits right now?
There are. They're expensive.
Oh damn, how expensive are they?
How much is the Medabi one I looked up?
Yeah, let me just do this live. Because listen, I am being sold very hard by the premise of this show literally being, hey, little child, run over and just run all the way home to grab your piggy bank so you can run to the store and buy a model kit so you can save your friends.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's this one I found that's like $60. That's not as bad as the one I found before.
Uh, weirdly, wait, no, here is, okay, yeah, $60. Honestly, that's not bad.
Huh.
Yeah, as
Oh, it
far
looks
as
like
mall kit
it's
stands go, that is not that bad at all.
okay. This is like the season after the one we're watching. Like I don't think it's season 2, but it's like they did like a continuation of Medabots and like they turn into vehicles. And it's like this
Huh.
it's that Metabee because he's got slight design differences.
I mean, that could be cool, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd want like an original. Holy shit. Freaking like 3.5 star rating, cyan dog, 1/6 scale for $109.
Yeah. You might be
I
able to find them for better prices if you go to like a Japanese figure site
oh
because
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
from what I understand, while Medabots is dead over here, it's not in Japan.
Yeah, okay. Oh hey, Darling in the
Also,
Franks Mall.
just a random like the thing. In Japan, it's called Medarot for some reason.
Yes. Alright, so here's the point. This is the point where we have to determine what are we
I'm
gonna
calling it
call this
Medabots.
shit. Okay. Because
I'm
I was
calling it
gonna say,
Medabots.
I am not calling it Metarots. I know that
Yeah,
we
it's fine.
literally see text that says Metarots, that they are robots. I'm calling them Metabots. I'm
Yeah,
calling
I
them
don't.
Metabots, but I will be trying to use the Japanese names.
Same. Yeah.
I feel like that's like the fairest way to,
Yeah, we're watching
Oh
it sub,
man.
so we'll call people by their Japanese names, but also I'm calling it Metabots because that's what I know it as.
Yeah. Man, I'm just looking now.
Also,
Oh god, the freaking Mubby redesign has like eyes on the back of its head. What the crap is this?
does it? That's weird.
Yeah,
Um,
there's little gems on the back. That's so odd. Why?
also
What's the vehicle for?
I'm glad that it seems that the names of the Metabots are roughly the same,
Yeah.
if not entirely the same.
I don't think I picked up on any notable instances of them changing things. I think they changed Dr. Study to Bok Choy or something. Maybe to make it like
Yes,
fit the lip flaps better, but other than that,
I think you're right. Yeah.
that's
So
a weird
it
one.
yeah. So there are Metabots games. None of them are particularly good,
Oh
which is
dang.
such a bummer. We got Metabots Infinity, which is the closest thing to what I would want. Uh, at least as far as games that came out over here are concerned. Where a third person like action game and like your parts can be destroyed and you could win parts and you play through like levels and fight
Was
Metabots and stuff.
I don't think that was the GameCube one, was it? Because I played the GameCube
Yeah.
one. Okay, I remember playing a GameCube one, and it was like I remember liking it, but also being disappointed, because it kind of sucked. But it
Yeah,
was
I
fun because robots. And I was child.
yeah, so there's Metabots Infinity, which is that one, and then like there's some Game Boy Advance ones which are like turn-based RPGs that play weird. I tried one, I didn't like it. Um from what I understand that's what they all are.
Okay.
Um so and then there's one that's actually the closest to what I want that we didn't get over here. Uh what's it called? Medarot. It was like Girls Battle or something. Girl
Okay.
Mission.
Huh. I wonder why we didn't get it over here.
It is a yeah. So basically, what I want is like an anime arena fighter because it fits.
Yeah, for this series it does fit. Although
Yeah,
that being said, I'd also be on board for the RPG stuff.
yeah, but what I want is like the 3D battle arena, and you earn parts and change up your combat capabilities and stuff. Hold on, I'm just reading on things.
So actually, wait, maybe
Yeah,
it's
okay,
because
so so here's the weird thing about Medarot Girls Mission, which it's like, okay, well, it's like, and like the primary character is like a girl and whatever. It's like, okay, this is probably meant to be for a female audience. No, probably not, considering there is a new feature called Hyper Finisher. So lets the player charge up their meta force to 200% to do more damage, with a unique animation depending on the metal. Winning the match with a Hyper Finish attack results in the opponent Medarotter's clothes getting torn off.
wait, what? Okay, all right. How old are these characters in this?
Beats me.
Based on the answer, that may be why we did not get this game.
I mean, they're not very clearly grade schoolers like the show.
Okay, all right. Thank God.
These are unique. What is it? Original characters for the game.
Yeah, that's a lot. I don't know if it's like fitting for the franchise, but I don't know where this franchise goes.
Yeah, and they do the Pokemon thing where there's a Kabuto version and what's the other one called? Kuwagata version, which is Meta B and Rokusho. They're metal types.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I downloaded it from I downloaded it to my modded 3DS to try it out, and I mean it's almost the entirety of it is in Japanese. I can't read a thing, but it doesn't play as smoothly as I would like, but it's a step in the right direction.
Okay, well, it's at least something, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, if I can't read whatever the story is going on, and I don't know what all my options are or anything. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I probably can't even read what the parts are.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem if you don't know what your equipping actually does.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why,
Crap.
but I posted the box art for those games in the Discord.
Yeah, I was just looking at this crap up. It seems like they only have the new designs for the model kits or whatever. Like, you have to do it. You know, it's like there's not really much of an alternative, which, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I feel like I'd rather have, like, an original Mebby than whatever this is. Like, I don't like all the new colors and stuff. It just don't feel right.
I don't think it ruins it. I think it's okay. But I mean, yeah, to each their own. But yeah, we should probably talk about the show.
But yeah, so I feel like there's not much to this episode. It just kind of happens.
Well, I mean, this first episode, the most important thing is that Icky, who is our main character, is bummed out because he's the only person seemingly who doesn't have a Medabot. He seems to know what he's talking about when it comes to like them fighting or whatever, but he can't actually do anything because he doesn't have the money, which he's saving up his allowance to get one. Because understandably, these things are expensive.
Yeah, it's literally a sentient robot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a nice picture of what a Medabot looks like without its parts.
Yeah, a freaking tin pet, I think. Because they explain that it's like the tin pet is like the skeleton and the actual armor is like the thing
muscles,
you buy. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, like I guess the armors are like what gives it its like functionality. They like, give it the movement and stuff. Like all the systems and stuff are just in the actual parts. And then basically, it's like, the actual metal is like the consciousness, and that's like, the actual like CPU.
Basically, yeah, the metal is the brain of the Medabot, or the soul, I guess. Probably anime terms is probably more accurate to what they would go for.
So immediately as soon as I heard that it's like, oh, the loser loses a part from their robot, I'm like, okay, how much of a ship of Theseus are we getting into right now? It
So I
turns
will.
out not really much of one at all because the thing that makes you you is just the metal, right? It's just the
Right.
coin.
Yeah. Yeah. The metal is the Medabot and its personality and everything. Um, I will say that it doesn't seem like there's much going on with winning parts and stuff. It will come back. Like Metabee
Yeah.
will be Metabee for most of the series, but there are moments where Icky will call in a part that he won from somebody to fight somebody,
Yeah, makes sense.
which is something
It's
you can do.
yeah.
You can, I believe, you can swap them mid battle with the Meta Watch.
Yeah, wait, mid battle? Oh, that's
Maybe.
huge.
It, I don't remember. If you can, I would wager that you can't swap out a part that's already been destroyed.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cause like that seems like that opens up a lot of possibilities. Cause it's like, all right, in this episode, it's like Icky gets a missile launcher, but they has to give it away. But the next episode, he gets like a punching arm, and it's like, okay, this could probably be useful if you have to fight like a melee opponent, you know?
Yeah. Oh, is that what that is at the end of the episode? I thought it was just a
Yeah.
random. I thought it was just a random part that they were showcasing. I didn't realizing it was a part that Icky won.
Yeah, the end of the episode is like, all right, end of the episode, they have like a parts tally, and they're like, okay, here's the parts that were like won this episode. And it's like, all right, so plot of the episode, we learn that there is like a group of Medabot hunters that go around and they just like gang up on people 3v1 and just like they just beat them up and steal their parts. And they stole the new part from Cyan Dog, which I assume was this missile launcher, the Death
Yeah.
Bomber or whatever.
Yeah. The blackmail, I think, is what the weapon is called.
No, the blackmail is the robot.
Oh, I thought that was. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the gun is the Death Bomber.
Oh, right. Okay, it's just weird because I could have swore it popped up these Metabots names earlier in the episode.
It might have. I know it does that in the dub, where it's like in the dub there's a really awkward like cutaway to this like edit and screen where it's just like, oh yeah, this thing, its specialty is this, and it just cuts back, and it's like
It
they're
does like
trying
the
to do the freaking
Digimon.
Digimon, this is what this Digimon is thing, but it's
Yeah.
like you're not really getting any information. So it's like, okay, that was useless, but sure.
Yeah, I kind of remember how it goes. It would be like Metabot name, and it's like specialty, this thing.
Specialty looking tough, and then they take it down one shot, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
thanks, Dub, you kind of ruined the gag. Oh man, but yeah, like freaking the blackmails are attacking from the rocker trio, which
Yeah, there's a whole gag with these guys where
oh man,
the Screws, which is the gang led by Kikuhime and
yeah, the
uh,
child gang, not the rockers.
yeah, basically. Yeah, they're walking around the park and it's like, okay, where are these guys that beat you up? And then all of a sudden, and then like the other the goons that beat him up show up. They're like, hey, it's us. And they look at him confused. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. And then they pop out a bunch of like hairspray and like makeup and everything, like out of boxes. And it just
Yeah.
cuts away to the Screws looking confused as you hear like sound effects of like costumes and makeup and like all this stuff, and then it cuts back to him and Iwanoi's like, it's them.
Oh, it's so dumb. I love like freaking yellow mohawk guy with 666 tattooed on his head, whose instrument is the fucking triangle.
I didn't even see that. That's hilarious.
Got like the electric keyboard, we have a full on like electric guitar, and we have to have a dude with a triangle, and he's just aggressively triangling at people.
And he's like, and I guess he's also trying the hardest to be edgy.
Listen, he's as edgy as you can be with a fucking triangle.
Yeah. So this is the tone of the show. These
I
guys
lo-
are ridiculous.
this is this is like a trigger show that doesn't have the trigger budget behind it, and I'm all here for it. This is like season 1 Kill the Kill. Like, we're just going to run up, and there's like a guy who is like the head of the boxing team, and his weapon is just 2 giant guns that shoot boxing fists.
Yeah.
And
But
he's
if it was
just
in
like,
this
I
show,
am going to kill you with a giant boxing glove, as he's like screaming about it.
yeah. But if it were Medabots, the leader of the boxing club would have a Medabot with 2 big punching, like, boxing glove hands.
I won't believe he would still have guns that fire boxing gloves.
No, they'd be spring loaded.
Yeah, you're right.
He'd have spring loaded punching glove fists.
Oh man. Jeez. This is beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, they're like, okay, we kind of glanced over entirely Icky's friend Erica,
Yeah.
who is
She
she's like
doesn't do much, but I appreciate that she exists.
yeah, she runs around to the camera. She fancies herself like a reporter. I guess she works for like the school newspaper or something.
She is the one straight man in this barrage of just unhinged insanity.
Yeah. There's also a point where they go by the Medabot shop, and like Icky's like, man, I want one so bad. And the shop owner's like, yeah, well, how much money do you have? And Icky tells him, he's like, can't sell you anything for that much. He's like, oh, wait a minute, I got one. And he pulls out the Metabee shell, basically. And he's like, okay, I mean, if you had the money, I'll sell you this. I'll even give you like the skeleton to go with it. And Icky's like, and it's like, oh, that thing's old and dusty and a piece of crap. And they're like laughing at the shopkeeper. And it's like, okay, yeah, no. And they leave. And then they're talking on the bridge, and Erica's like, if you buy that thing, we're over. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yes, I don't get why episode 1's so hard on Metabee.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, he's this old, outdated model, and he's really dusty, and, no one wants him. He's probably defective, They, like, look at the
so
parts
cool,
there.
though.
Yeah, but in universe, to these kids, this thing is the lamest crap ever, and it's baffling. Because I'm like, Medabee's rad. I love him.
Yeah, I'd see all the Medabot designs that he shows in like the shop, and I'd see if Metabee was on like a shelf, I'd look at Metabee and go, "That guy's cool."
I'm the one with the freaking guns.
Yeah,
It's got guns and missile launchers.
We do get a little rundown of like some available Medabot types. There's like a flying type and like a
they're on like Final Fantasy 14 style like 3-letter designations. So, blackmail is like DVL for devil, and there's like PLN for plane. Metabee is like KBT for Kabuto, because he is a beetle. Yeah.
I think there's PHX, which is Phoenix.
Yeah, it's CAR, which is obviously, for motorized vehicle.
Yeah.
Of course, Peppercat, CAT.
I like that there's a moment when he's running through the model types, and it's like, oh yeah, the flying one is like a female model, but if between you and me, there's secretly a bunch of guys who like to buy that model, and I'm just like, yikes.
I'm just like, heck yeah, let's go.
I mean, yeah, it's like the idea of having a female model Medabot is fine. It's just like the way he's like, oh yeah, the guys secretly buy that one.
Yeah, like, there's a few things in this that probably did not age the best. It's like, oh, if you're a guy who likes the girl Medabot, I don't know about you. He's like, ugh.
Yeah, you're weird.
And I'm like, yeah, no, that seems cool. Like, I'd take Peppercat. Peppercat's rad. It's a lightning cat. It's awesome.
It's probably just that it's way more common for like Like
Yeah.
boys to buy boy type Medabots and girls to buy girl types.
I had the impression it's like that's gonna be their excuse for why like female characters tend to have like the female robots, because it's like, oh yeah, girls want to play with the girl Medabots, and it's like, yeah, fair enough, kids will be kids.
Yeah, but to the show's credit, the very first female Medabot we see is Peppercat, who wins her first fight and is cool.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. Like, just surprisingly, it's like after off of so many Digimon series that just did not do their female characters right. Yeah, Kiko Hime's pretty rad. Like, she's a pretty fun female character. Like, they don't just treat her as like the girl. She's like a weirdo, scheming little like gremlin with like a cool robot.
Yeah, she's also hilarious.
Yeah,
There's
she
like there's like a shtick between her and Iwanoi where he keeps calling her boss and she gets mad and just like slaps the crap out of him and just like, don't call me boss. I don't know why that's her.
She
Oh, no,
doesn't want them to call her boss, but she completely is okay with calling them her minions all the time.
I think I get it. It's because of the Bancho dude. She doesn't want to be called boss because she doesn't want to give people the wrong impression that she's the boss.
Yeah, but maybe she just doesn't want to be the boss, but the other guys are too spineless.
Maybe.
Maybe that's
Speaking of spineless, the moment the rocker dudes like change into their like rocker personas, she switches sides and joins them.
Yeah. She's just like, yeah, come on, big bro, let's take him out. And they're like, who are you?
Yeah, like Iwanoi and Kami. It's not Kamiyama. It's something like that. Kagamiyama.
Yeah.
The shorter, like wider dude. Like they're just like, wait, she changed size so quickly.
Oh man. Like, to be fair, from what we've seen, ganging up on people is totally her thing.
Yeah, but the moment it happens to her, she's like, how dare you gang up on us?
Yeah. Oh man.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. It's like, you and the female character, it's like the more obvious, like, probably love interest one, I'm gonna be real. It's like,
Erica.
yeah, you and
Yeah.
Erica's got like the whole photography thing going on. It's like, okay, yeah, she actually has like other character traits and interests outside of just being the girl one with the girl robot. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's good for a 90s show. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and her Medabot is the more stereotypical, like nice, like supportive healer type.
Oh yeah.
Her name is Brass, I believe.
I very immediately got the impression where it's like, all right, her robot's probably not a fighter, but you know what? That's okay.
Which seems weird because Medabattle seem to be a Robattle. Robattle seem to be a one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances.
We do see it's like, we get exclamation for the Dr. Stye part. Or Doc Stye or whatever. Yeah, Dr. Stye. And it's like a weird radar part, which they say makes it like useless for battle. But I'm like, well, wait, if you're like, doing a 2v2 battle, then like that might actually be pretty effective, right?
Yeah. Maybe there are moments in the series where multiple Medabots will fight multiple others, but it's not I don't really remember.
Yeah, I could see there being like some tag battles. Because there's like support type Medabots, so it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Why wouldn't there be? Yeah.
Yeah. Have like, the guy who's like got the really big defensive one and he's like the tank or whatever that you have to go around with your shots. Have a Medabot with like barriers and they're like partnered up with someone who's like a really good sniper, Like,
yeah,
you do stuff like that, yeah. I can see it.
But yeah, Icky, Erica, and the Screws all are like dealing with the with like the dudes who are trying to steal their parts and whatever. And Icky's like, okay, well, I gotta run away so I can, or it's like, I gotta run away, I can't do anything. And then a weird guy in an alley stops him, and he's like, "Oh
Yeah.
man, you gotta fight whatever with your burning spirit or whatever." This is
Speaking of Digimon Data Squad, hello, random old man with a very ordinary job.
yeah. Also, flashback just a second. Earlier in the episode, Icky finds the beetle metal in the river that the Phantom
Yeah.
Renegade dropped.
Yeah, he finds the rare metal, and that's how he, like, has the thing to get Mabi working.
Yeah. So yeah, he runs off and he's like, "Oh, something, something, fight with your burning spirit, whatever." And like, it's like, and the man with the burning spirit would buy one of these baby chicks, and Icky's gone.
Yeah, it's just this random old dude selling baby chicks to, like, just random kids on the street, and no one just, like, Icky doesn't go for it, the store owner does. It gets
Yeah.
roped into it.
Yeah. So yeah, Icky runs home, grabs his piggy bank, and is like, I'll buy the old Medabot. I just need anything right now." And it's like cuts to like a dialogue, and it's like, "In that moment, the shopkeeper knew something, something." It's like there are moments where it like plays it kind of serious, but it is also kind of goofy.
We need to literally run home to steal mom's credit card from her purse to buy a toy for Power. Nikki, run home as fast as you can to to grab your piggy bank and like save your friends with the power of capitalism. We don't know
Yeah.
what they're saving them from. We don't know what the freaking punks are actually going to do, but they're triangling very aggressively in her direction.
Yeah. So yeah, Icky gets the free tin pet with the parts, and like he puts it together, and he puts the metal in, and the shopkeeper reacts. He's got quite a reaction to it. How strange.
Yeah, it's almost like he is the Phantom Thief.
Yeah, maybe.
I, if he is not the Phantom Thief, I'm going to be amazed. They literally have the same haircut.
They sure do.
It's like exactly the same. Listen, I might not be the smartest. I'm smart enough to outsmart a show made for kids. I have to imagine if I was like, like 10 or something watching this, or like, let's say like if I was like 8 watching this, that would probably been the like craziest shit. Cause that's at the age where you like see stuff like that and you make the connection, but you're not old enough to realize everyone else has also made the connection. So you're like, oh dude, I'm so smart, holy crap. Oh, I know where this is going. Oh, I can't wait for this.
So honestly, I don't think they're trying to hide it very hard, because I remember them eventually like making intentional jokes at how obvious it is.
Oh man, it's I just want the there be a Sailor Moon tuxedo mask moment where everyone's just kind of like weirdly disappointed. Oh my god, he really is tuxedo mask.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the scene you're talking about.
Oh man.
My job here is done, but you didn't do anything. Swish.
I feel like I've seen like basically nothing of Sailor Moon and I know about that scene.
I just know the meme images that people like to post.
Oh god, I know about that and the whole meme of like freaking was it Venus and her cousin?
Her quote unquote cousin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the cousin that they're raised like sisters or whatever. It's like, yeah, they're really good cousins, and they're like blushing around each other and stuff. It's like the more it goes on, the more awkward it becomes. Oh man.
I would like to think that like the dub started coming out while the original was airing, and they saw how the dub changed it, and they were just like, okay, let's make it more and more blatant.
There's literally a moment where it's like Venus just being like thrown off. Yeah, she's being like held over the sap like a dam or something. And Bjorn's like, oh no. And the villain's like, yeah, that's right. Give up the thing or I'll like, drop her. And I know you wouldn't let that happen because you're both really good cousins. It's like, wait, how do the bad guys know? Jeez. Yeah,
we're still on episode 1 here.
We have a lot to talk about in this first episode, but yeah, Mubby beats Hell Phoenix.
Yeah,
just
so
a flamethrower.
Yeah. So Icky gets a Meta Watch with his new Medabot, and if you put the metal in it, you can teleport your Medabot to you. I don't know how, without putting the metal in the Medabot, I don't know how it knows it's supposed to be connected to it, but whatever, we'll just hand wave it.
Whatever, it's fine. I assume the watch is connected to the Medabot, and the Mel is just like powering the watch, maybe?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The watch comes with the parts or something.
Okay, yeah, the watch is the frequency of your Medabot, and the Mel powers it, maybe.
So yeah, you put the metal in the watch, and you can teleport your Medabot to you. And so Icky runs back to where the fight's happening, and he's like, I'm gonna beat you and save my friends or whatever. And he teleports Medavi, and he puts the metal in the back, and nothing happens. Medavi doesn't work.
I feel like our explanation's going to make sense until the incredibly plausible moment happens, where like there will most likely be a scene where like Icky puts a different robot's metal into his watch and summons that one for something.
I don't know if it happens, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a moment where they create a reason. Or it's like, oh yeah, you can teleport your metal out without the metal now.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling it. I
just feel like there's going to be a scene where like a person is going to put the other robot's metal into their watch and teleport something that's not their robot. And it's gonna be like, okay, well, how the heck does this work now?
Yeah. So yeah, everybody laughs at Medabi, and it's like, oh, it doesn't even work, stupid kid. Look at this old piece of trash robot, and they start beating up on it. And then Icky gets frustrated. He's like, work, you stupid piece of crap. And Medabi springs to life and starts destroying things.
Yeah, he is a bit like rusty at first. I have to assume that's what the problem is that it's like really rusty and like, clogged up and stuff. And he needed a bit to like, get going.
Maybe.
Because they keep talking about how like he's really old and outdated and he's like, this old loser Medabot. And it's like, first off, I'll believe Mebby is uncool. But secondly, it's like, as soon as he comes to life, Mebby just starts wrecking everyone and he doesn't lose. Like, Mebby is really powerful immediately.
Yeah, so, it's probably obvious if the broken down old robot is that strong. And everyone is like, oh, it's outdated, whatever. It's the metal. The metal makes him really strong. It's special.
I have to assume that's the case.
But yeah, he just guns down all of them and wins instantly. And it's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And like, everyone's like, yay, the day is saved. The Nicky's robot works and whatever. And then all of a sudden, Medavi's just like, you called me a piece of crap earlier?
Yeah, what the crap's wrong with you, man? I hate you.
Yeah, and so we learned that Medabi has a bit of an attitude problem.
I sure hope this doesn't lead to a whole second episode of Medabi learning to trust Icky.
Gee, that'd be crazy.
That'd be something an anime would do.
Yeah. So episode 2.
Yeah, should we like give our final thoughts before moving on?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, this is a good episode, yeah.
It's fun.
Good show.
It's a good origin episode.
We also did say that this was the Anispective cast, but screw it. You're hearing it now.
Yeah.